I'm Bob Sweeney for the City of Juneau Cable Access Channel 991. I'm the station manager there, and I've been, for a number of years, been wanting to put together a gardening program for the viewers of Channel 991. My initial goal was to video record other people in their gardens and doing garden work. I wasn't able to get anywhere with that. So I came to the decision that, well, if you want it done, I guess you have to do it yourself. So here we go with the first episode of the Juneau Garden. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have any suggestions or comments, please don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you. Last fall, I prepared my strawberry bed for this spring. You see me doing some work on it last fall in preparation for the coming season. You can see here last fall I used my tractor and disc to try to kill the old plants in preparation for this spring. You can see the center strip there is where this year's bed will be. All right, here's my strawberry bed. Last fall I disked the two outside edges to try and kill down the old plants, and I covered them up with straw. And I just have the middle section growing now. The area where the strawberries are right down the middle was last year's path. So what happened was I allowed the runners to move into the area where the path was last year, so that's where we'll have this year's strawberries. And the outside edges, I'll let the runners grow up there, and probably 2 years I'll be harvesting strawberries from the outside edge there. And right next door here to the left is my asparagus bed. I think I bought 18 plants when we first moved into this property over 20 years ago. So it's a mature bed, and it's a variety referred to as Jersey Night, K-N-I-G-H-T, and it's been very productive. Last fall I covered up the bed with some grass clippings from my lawn. Hopefully that'll help keep some of the weeds down. I also need to take care of the old ferns that were left over the winter. Clean that up. Oh, we'll see how that turns out in about 2 weeks. This is video that I shot last fall of my garden. You see it's at the end. I'm preparing it to be plowed. Notice my house is up on top of the hill. It's sitting on top of a bunch of rocks that are ground moraine. And therefore the ground below here, where we're at now, is a better, thicker soil. Right behind the garden, you see toward the going up the hill, you have the white fencing there. That's my grapevines. Last fall I went out to the Juneau leaf site to get some decayed grass clippings and weeds and things like that. This is at the end of, I think, the second year of this pile. Here I am putting it into containers to make it easier for me to move and take to my garden that's up by my house. This is my garden that's just on the west side of my house, next to the polar bear plantation. Last fall, in preparation for adding that decayed organic matter that I got from the leaf site, I dug up my raised beds that are in that upper garden by my house. The soil isn't very good here, which is why I want to add all that composted organic matter that I got from the leaf site. Here you can see me digging up what's there. Actually, where I'm digging right now is a small hugelkultur with some sticks underneath that. Maybe I'll show you a little bit later of how that was built with help from my son a couple of years ago. All right, this is the bed I just dug up. Notice I've got some edges built into the bed now, and in between those areas that I've got built up with soil, I'm putting in the decayed organic matter that I gleaned from the Juneau leaf site. So you've got to look how much darker this organic matter is. So hopefully we'll have some real good soil here on these raised beds for this year. I have 4 of these raised beds in my upper garden that I brought in all this decayed organic matter in. Here you can see I'm just leveling out the second one I did that last fall. And I've got one just to the right of where these 2 are. And I've got a real small one that I'm working on right here. I mentioned that some of the beds that we have in this upper garden are hugelkultur beds, something that was begun in Europe. Here we dug out some trenches. Joey digging out some trenches here, piling the dirt up off on the sides. And then after we hit the trench, then we lined the trench with organic matter. The key here is old wood, old logs, rotted logs preferably. And as the logs rot down, it produces nutrients and moisture for the plants that grow above it on the hugelkultur mound. We put in some corn stalks that had been left over from the year's crop, and we put some other organic matter on it as well. And then finally we covered up with the soil that we had dug out of the trench. And the last thing we did was covered up with some decayed straw that I had, that I tried to have a straw bale garden that I wasn't happy with. I wasn't very happy with it at all. So trying with these hugelkultur beds instead. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, that brings the end of the first episode of the Juneau Garden here at the Sweeney Gardens. We will have our next program on April 21st, so look for us again then. If anybody has any ideas of some gardens in the area that you'd like to see, or you have a garden that you'd like to contribute some information about, please let me know. I'd like to expand this program, as I mentioned at the top of the program. Again, our next program will air, first time it'll air will be April 21st. That's a Friday. Thank you for watching.